Welcome to Know Your Company. Today we have with us the young founder of Cureveda. Bhavna is with us and we're going to dive deep into her story. Also joining us is Siddhesh, who's the CEO of the company. And they've really, in the last few years, been trying to build momentum in this Ayurvedic space. In fact, they just received a shout out from the Prime Minister himself, I think, on Mann Ki Baat. Am I right, Bhavna?
Yeah, that was awesome. It was completely unexpected and organic. So it was, it's a good surprise that we
So how
woke
did
up
he
to
find
on
out
Sunday.
about you guys?
I just woke up on Sunday morning and I had messages from people I hadn't heard from for forever. And I knew something was up, and it was back-to-back messages, one after the other. And I myself hadn't tuned into the show at that point in time, so I heard it retrospectively. But it was amazing, just to get that shout out from the highest office in the country. So it was another feather in our cap, considering we're only 3 years old. Very exciting time for us.
It surely is. How did you get into this space? What's the story? How was Cureveda born?
I have been in this industry for a while, Aabha. I started in the supplement space when I was 20. And 20 के लगता है कि हाँ शायद इसके parents भी काम करते होंगे इस industry में, but my dad had nothing to do with supplements. He was selling chini. He had a sugar manufacturing unit, and we were selling supplements. So I started very early. I was into distribution of American supplement brands, and thereon I kept building my knowledge in the industry and got married in the Bednath family as well, which gave me a base into more herbal supplements and increased my exposure to Indian herbs. And then obviously I always wanted to launch my own private label, and there was a big opportunity in plant-based supplements. I myself am vegetarian. I believe in a plant-based diet. I'm borderline vegan. So it was just a philosophy that we both attested to, and it was just waiting to happen. So we launched in 2019 with Cureveda.
So tell me, even though, like you said, you got some exposure to herbal supplements and so forth, or that you yourself knew about the space from early on, wasn't it intimidating to get into a space where there are, a couple of major giants that seem to have the majority of the market?
See, Aabha, when we entered, we in fact saw a very big white space. Like, who really is the customer that we are catering to? We are catering to currently a demography which is a very discerning customer. Youth of India who probably are not relating to the brands which have the legacy brands which have been here for over a century, and their requirements and their expectations from plant-based supplement brands is very different. They're looking for adequate dosage. They're looking for clinical trials, research. They want the products to have a more youth appeal. Sustainability, and our entire product range is packaged in glass bottles or in sustainable packaging. So terms and things that really the youth cares for is what the brand delivers. And also the demography that we're catering to, we're not really competing with a Dabur or a Himalaya. Our products are priced at a ticket price of around 1,000 rupees. We use really premium quality herbs. We go in for a lot of clinical trials, and before we launch. And even in terms of product innovations, we've gotten into categories where none of these yesteryear brands exist. So, for example, plant-based biotin or plant-based collagen. We are very big on playing on plant-based vitamins and minerals, and we've done exciting stuff in the past. We've created categories which did not exist in the space of Ayurveda. In fact, we've also launched a protein powder in Ayurveda under the Ayush license, which has never happened before. So we are completely reinventing Ayush for New Age India. And we really feel that this is the kind of brand which will sail international borders as well. And it has a global appeal because we mark all the tick boxes for something which a global audience is looking for, and that's really the pedestal that we want to place Cureveda on.
Okay, interesting. Tell us about the opportunity here, Siddhesh. If you're looking at a global market as well, you must have done the numbers. So what is the kind of opportunity, where you're at in that journey in terms of scale or growth, in terms of what you want to achieve, the kind of targets that you've set for yourself?
So to be honest, last 2-3 years in India has been crazy with COVID. Automatically, we've seen, in fact, I think that was the whole lead up to Prime Minister Modi also talking about Cureveda, that he's been very progressive in terms of popularizing and motivating people to accept Ayurveda in their everyday lives. It did help a lot of people strengthen their immunity during the COVID times. So last 2 to 3 years have been quite, I would say, promising for us in India. But at the same time, definitely we feel that the vision is that we should go abroad soon, and especially North America, which is, the mother of all supplements markets in general, where we are seeing lots of brands that are already billion-dollar brands get into herbal supplements or add plant-derived ingredients per se and start charging premium for it. So there's a gap there that we feel, and me and Bhavna strongly feel that, a brand from India that has its roots in our country, in India, and also has a 100-year legacy in form of a group, right?
Yeah.
Should definitely be the leader of sorts. So, I mean, the overall industry is huge. It's $500 billion plus, and I believe North America is the leader there. So we have started the process of registrations and things like that. Even the Prime Minister's office, when they reached out to me and Bhavna, they were keen that why they saw Cureveda stood out was because of the whole appeal of the brand and how it could actually cater to a global audience. So we will be working on that for sure.
So one of the things that comes through, and especially in some of the new age companies that we speak to, is the fact that it's important to build a brand identity, a brand narrative. It's like you said, Bhavna, right in the beginning. It's associating, resonating with young consumers that becomes very important. Tell us a little bit more about how perhaps you managed to form that connect with customers. I know your packaging is like we were talking about the Glow product, and you said it's a bestseller. I think the packaging really stands out. It's that soft pink and sort of the messaging on it also is something that stays with you, that you recollect very easily. Have some of these steps been working for you? What has the growth been like in the early years, and how do you plan to escalate that now going forward?
So that's correct, Aabha. I'm glad that you've noticed the packaging as well, but that's purely a facilitator for a product which is great inside, right? And definitely it does have an appeal in terms of packaging as well. And it's a clean label supplement. It's clean in terms of its color choices, clean in terms of the information that we reveal on the label as well. But it's really the ingredients that now the customers are getting more cautious of. People are becoming conscious of what they're putting in their body. It's not people are not falling for gimmicks. They're researching. There are more brands which are coming up as well, so there's more knowledge out there. So we are not trying to go for any gimmicks. We're trying to create true value products which are supported by very thorough research.
Okay.
And most importantly, when a customer trials our product, he should get the results, so that there's more stickiness with the brand as well. And that's really what has helped us sail the winds. Just great quality, which is delivered time and time again, which creates a very loyal customer base for us.
Great. And if I may just add to that, like she already mentioned about the packaging and we ensuring that it's biodegradable and so on and so forth, but also on the three main factors of safety, efficacy, and dosage. These three things are the three pillars of the brand. But to answer your question also in a manner where how it's so relatable, right? For today's audience, for the younger gen. So that's a conscious effort that we also do in terms of our marketing, our communication.
Or even our product choices. For example, we launched a product for oil pulling, which we launched in the middle of the COVID crisis when the Ayush Ministry had come up with a directive that one of the things that you should be doing during this time to build immunity is oil pulling. And I think our response time was under a month. We were the first company in the country to launch an oil pulling formula. Again, very, very efficacious in terms of its ingredient choice. And so we have a quick response time to creating new age formulas as well.
How would you measure impact? Since this is a space, like you said, where people are so conscious. One, of course, is scale, revenues, so on and so forth. But in terms of that initial momentum, brand building, it's also about awareness, about people talking about, the fact that it's had an impact or that they've seen results. And this is something that comes up in the Ayurvedic space. People either swear by it, and the naysayers will always say that this is just, gimmicks. How do you really measure impact?
See, when Siddhesh mentions, it's one of our key pillars of our company is like what he had mentioned, dosage. So, and what you rightly said, most of the formulas which exist in the market, people believe them to be placebos, and Ayurveda is perceived to be the poor science, even in India itself, right? Like you'll try everything, you'll knock on every door in modern medicine, and then when all else fails, you will try Ayurveda. Historically, that's what the case has been. And then recently, people have started shifting to more herbal options. Even in FMCG, for example, if you buy a toothpaste, you would pay a premium for a herbal toothpaste. That trend has started changing maybe 5-6 years back, when people started going for herbal and cleaner alternatives. So in terms of dosage, what we as a corporate do, we make sure that we have pack sizes which deliver results. Like, we will not go for trial packs, we will not go for 7-day therapies. If we believe that the product needs to be had for 1 month to feel any significant results, we'll pack it in a 1 month pack size, rather than making a 15-day dosage and then charge cheaper for it. So, because the proof is in the pudding, people are willing to try the products, but they want results, and they won't go for the product twice if they don't see results the first time. So that's a very fundamental part of how we sell our range of products as well.
Okay. So give me a sense of scale. I'm not getting a sense of scale yet from our conversation. In terms of, even if, I don't know if you want to share numbers, or, if it's percentage growth, or, or let's say how many markets you're in after 3 years versus when you started. I know you're looking to expand further, but to get a sense of how you've grown.
So in terms of like exact numbers, like I said, we can't share top line numbers, but in the past 3 years, we have a 300% CAGR growth.
Okay.
Now, what that base is, one is free to guess, but in terms of the plant-based supplement space, especially, I think we would be among the top 2 or 3 brands in the country with a very high recall. Whoever would be entering in the market would look at us as a sure competitor, or would be emulating or trying to create a Me Too brand based on our presence already. We're available very strongly in the digital space. So if you look at the main marketplaces, you will see that all our products are highly ranked. They're probably top sellers in the categories. Offline, which is what Siddhesh aggressively leads, we are there in all the tier 1 cities like Delhi, Bombay, Pune, Hyderabad, with very important channel partners like Apollo, Wellness Forever, 98.4, and several category A pharmacies. And again, we probably, trying to maintain some humility here, but we would probably be one of the top selling brand in most of these retail stores as well. So, like I said, the velocity of growth, Aabha, is extremely high. Yeah. And we just, now we are trying to innovate on certain formulations and certain product formats as well. For example, like right now we're in powders and tablets and gels. We will be creating some more formats which will be easy to consume. They'll be delicious. They'll help to penetrate a larger audience as well, at a price point which is more accessible. So a lot of innovations will be coming up in the next quarter.
Sounds fantastic, and you sound like you're on a roll. So great chatting with you today. Thanks for joining us. So one quick last question: manufacturing, I'm guessing you outsource, or is it sort of in-house?
We have 90% of our range is manufactured in-house. I don't think we've given an introduction of our family background as well.
I figured. So, as in, you mean through the existing setup that
I'm also married into the Bednath family. Siddhesh is a president in Bednath, so we have access to manufacturing units. All our formulas are our own. So we manufacture on a loan license on our own manufacturing facilities.
Sure.
And very few of our products are contract manufactured from third parties. Okay. But most of it is in-house.
Okay. And is there any case for external funding here, or is this, in the sense, if you don't sound like you would need it because, A, given the background, and B, given the growth, but is there a case? I mean, it's just a question, since all startups seem to be looking for, investors. But is it a route that you would consider, or it's not something that you really have thought of?
See, currently we are bootstrapped, but there is no coolness quotient here for me. I'm a double master's in finance. So we are not looking to raise for the sake of raising. We do feel that we are at a pinnacle right now, and to maintain that velocity, we would be interested in looking for funding. Also we've put in a sizable amount of our own investments as well. But we feel like to maintain that velocity, now is a good time to explore. And maybe there would be some news soon.
Because we want to definitely make sure that we have conversations with strategic partners who can really help us gain that velocity. While we feel we may understand a lot, but there's a lot more for us to learn. So if there are credible people who've done that in the past and help us scale faster, that would definitely be something that we would consider.
What would be the most common question? And since you've already hinted, I'm sure you've had some conversations. what would be the most common question an investor asks you?
I think people are curious to know our backgrounds more than anything else. Like what is the vision for the brand? Where do we want to take it, and why are we so interested in this category? So that's a commonly asked question, and that's something which you can't garnish or fake. I think you have to be very authentic when it comes to that. So
another common question I feel is that everybody likes to ask is that, okay, are you just chasing the top lines, or you want to create a credible brand for perpetuity for future? So our answer there is very clear that, we are not running for just top lines and, putting the bottom lines at stake. We want to definitely work towards creating a sustainable company where we can actually have genuinely good bottom lines and create a solid brand and not create to sell, basically.
Okay. Fantastic. This is great.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.